Guys, Jake with Armchair MMA. Sitting down, the main card's just started. I do apologize. I wanted to get out a much better video than this is going to be to you guys. I know it's been a few weeks or so. At least it feels like it has been. But I did want to talk about this card. Perfect timing, because as I came in, I watched the Fransisco Trinaldo fight. Like, dude, what's going on with Herb Dean? If you guys didn't see it, sorry, I'm totally drawing a blank. Who he is fighting? Jai Herbert, whichever. But he was fighting Jay Herbert, and dude was looking good, but he just clipped him. It was like a big looping punch, just kind of clipped him, and probably a big overhand left or so. And man, the guy fell down. He had his hand up. It reminded me of Terry Edom, like when he fell from Edson Barboza on that wheel kick. It was like very similar the way he fell back. And Herb just runs in like he's about to stop it, and then just pauses for, I don't know, a few seconds. I mean, it felt like eternity to me. Let's see. There we go. Get this light on. It felt like eternity to me. Certainly felt like eternity to the commentators. They're fucking pretty pissed off. Paul Felder, who I believe Fransisco Trinaldo beat Paul Felder. Like, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure he did, man. Paul Felder's a stud. Like, I truly feel like Fransisco Trinaldo is going to be one of the better fighters that no one's ever heard about in UFC, like at least up to date, you know? I mean, guy's been fighting forever. I think at one point he had like an 8-fight win streak. I mean, and no one knows him. I think he's like 41 right now. So, I mean, it's not like he's going to like fight for the title. But this is a guy that's, you know, upper mid-tier, just, I'd say maybe just shy of top 10, top 12. He may have even cracked into it before, but like the guy's starching people, man. And like, honestly, I was kind of in and out of the fight, but when I saw that, dude, saw how he fell. Apparently Herb Dean had another bad call. I didn't see it. Like I said, I was at work. But Dan Hardy, I've never, ever seen someone freak out the way Dan Hardy just freaked out. He screamed, "Stop the fight!" And truly, to me, the way it like was set up, I mean, it's not like he was going to let it go much longer, but it seemed like after you hear that yell, immediately jumps in. Like he was like, it was almost like he came to, like he zoned out for a second. But afterwards, they were going to interview. You can hear Dan Hardy in the background, like talking shit to Herb Dean, saying, "I'll do." You couldn't quite hear, but at the very end, you could make out he said, like, "I'm doing my job, you do yours." And it's like, fuck, bro. There's still like 6 or 7 fights on the main card. I mean, like, it's not done with the card. So we'll see how this turns out. I did want to talk about retiring fighters. I think Joseph Benavidez should retire. I know he said he wants to, fight one more time, but like who's he gonna fight? Tim Elliott? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think flyweight should even exist anymore. I think it's kind of an empty gesture to have Cody Garbrandt come down to 125. Seems very reminiscent of TJ Dillashaw. Just say he does win. What's that saying? Like, the guy's getting knocked out 3 times, comes back, super, super sweet knockout. Was it Pedro Munoz? No. Slipping my mind who he knocked out. But it was slicker than shit how he did it. Oh, Rafael Sunsao. That's right. Slicker than shit, man. Came out, like, threw it from his hip. I mean, it was nasty. Might be knockout of the year. I mean, I still don't forget that he lost 3 fights in a row by getting getting finished. So say he does win, he's a 2-time champ. It's like, it feels almost like you're watering that down, because like when Conor originally did it, it was a big fucking deal. And now obviously people are going to try to replicate that, but it seems like you're just starting to water it down. I mean, I guess you can't hold it against Amanda Nunes because 145 was her Cyborg's division, but it's like, dude, yeah, she was a double champ. I'm not saying she wasn't the best women's fighter ever. I truly think she is, but it was like a 3-person division, and like, on the contrary, or comparing the two, I should say, it's like an 8-person division. I don't know like 5 of the dudes in flyweight, and I mean I follow it pretty hard. It's not for lack of effort. It's just, you know, these guys fight like one time and they're automatically ranked, and where the smaller guys are fighting lower tier or lower out on the card. I'm gonna work, miss it, and it's like, damn, I just missed the number 8 guy out of nowhere, you know. So that kind of sucks. But I definitely think it's time for Joseph Benavidez to retire. Joe Duffy retired. I think that's cool. I would love to see him fight more. I think he's always an exciting guy. I've been a big fan of his since he came in. You know, he had a lot of hype behind him. He just it never really came to fruition for him. It seems like he fights. I'm sorry, the fights are on right now. It looks like Chimaev, or however you say his name, looks like he's about to wrestle fuck this dude. He's got him down the first 15 seconds. But I'm sorry, what was I saying? Joe Duffy. It just seems like it's never came to fruition with him, and it sucks because he's like a top level guy. I'm not saying he's a world beater, but he's a top level guy. So you know, he fights so rare that he probably does deal with injuries, or maybe he's just disheartened. You know, Gus left for a year, came back, fighting now. When I looked it up, it was almost a year in between when he retired. He got shit beat out of him by Lionheart. But he's been talking about retiring forever. I mean, since he lost to Rumble his last time, or I think probably the first time I've heard about it. But I did hear that he was saying he regrets that he did. I think it was probably the best thing for him. We will see soon, obviously, in the next 2 hours. But I looked for Gus to handle Verdum. If Verdum looks anything like he did in his last fight, I look for Gus to just completely handle him. I felt like Verdum was losing a striking exchange with Alexei Olenek, which is, you don't do that. You don't do it. He's one of the worst guys striking-wise. I love him in submission. It can be boring, but he can also be exciting off his back, like literally off his back and mount, choking dudes out. If he's beating you in striking, that's a problem. And I mean, Verdum's got to be like 41, 42. He's an old guy. So I think it's just his time. I think he's just cashing checks, and I think he should retire. Shogun versus Nogueira. When I first heard about this fight, I was like, man, these guys, where are they? It's like Nogueira's like the crypt keeper at this point, walking around. I mean, he's probably early 40s, but I mean, his fight career is like a cat's age, like he's probably 70 years old in the fight game. And I hate to say it, but I think he's a little overrated as well, especially in the later half of his career. And I would have to look at it again, but I know he's a beast coming over from Pride, but I believe it was Ruggiero that got knocked out by dude from Cameroon with Predator. Whatever his name is, but yeah, you know what I'm saying, the Predator. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Dude that lost to Machida when he came in. He was just like a bust in UFC. Sokaju, there we go. I believe it was Nogueira that lost to Sokaju. I mean, it doesn't matter, it's forever ago, but I always felt like he was kind of overhyped. Both Nogueira brothers, like they're kind of lived off of. Yeah, Chimaev just won. Living off that Bob Sapp fight, living off the Fedor fight, living off, just living off the Pride days. You know what I mean? Which, that's cool, but like this is literally probably 20 years later. I want to say he's like 1, maybe 2-4. I don't know. He's like finished like Sam Alvey, Nogueira did. In like his most recent fight, which that doesn't really say a lot. Like, I like Sam Alvey, but he's literally just like throw a punch. He's like these when they're like, you need to open up with more volume. You never ever will get that from Sam Alvey. His wife, who's his trainer, probably doesn't teach it. But I look to see Nogueira winning a decision. I think both those guys are old, and I think if either one of them wanted to put an end to the career, that's definitely time. Nogueira obviously more so than Shogun, which I was surprised. Like Shogun's like 4-1-1, and it's like lower competition as well. He's like 4-1-1 in his last 6 fights, and this is like coming from like 2015. I mean, both of the guys average like maybe 1 fight a year. So whatever. I looked to see Gustafsson handling Verdum, like I said, and I think it's time for him to hang it up. You know, he can be on those grappling matches anymore. Like flow wrestling. You can do stuff like that. I'm sure he can coach somewhere if he wants to. But the main event, man, that's a tough one. I'm imagining we're going to see a lot of those like low line sidekicks. Both of them have like done it to different guys. They both have like kind of a, I want to say, like I don't want to say that Darren Till has a karate style, but he definitely, he's very on the balls of his feet. He's not like a plodding fighter. He's known for his Muay Thai. He's not plodding from what I see, at least like the fights that I can remember in my head, when I'm thinking about Wonder Boy, which I thought he lost that fight. But I'm picturing those low-line sidekicks, and Robert Whittaker was doing the shit out of it to Yoel Romero in his second fight. I would imagine Robert Whittaker, but like, dude, Darren Till does look a little bigger. Like, let's not forget that Robert Whittaker is a 170-pounder. Like, got finished pretty handedly by Stephen Thompson, and then came up, won the title. But it was, there's just weird things around that as well. That like Bisping had the title at that time. Then he was, I believe, if I remember correctly, he was awarded it after Bisping. After Bisping, what was it? Did he fight Yoel Romero for the title? And it was a draw. There's like some controversy to it. And like Robert Whittaker, like his title reign was literally fighting Yoel Romero. Not saying that's like not impressive, but he got destroyed by Adesanya. So I wouldn't be crazy surprised if he looks much worse than people give him credit for as being a former champ. Same time, he might fucking come and take Darren Till's head off. Like, Darren Till, he's this weird mentality, No one thought he was going to beat Gastelum. Boring ass fight, but like he has a nice fight IQ. Like he does what it takes to win, especially the way he is getting hyped up as like this finisher. It's like, man, I see Darren Till as more of a point fighter. I mean, when you're knocking out Donald Cowboy Cerrone and that's like your big finish, that doesn't say a lot about you. But, all right, guys, I've been rambling forever. I just wanted to get this out here. I think it is time for a lot of these guys to, retire. It's a changing of the guard. Same token, Shogun wins. Who am I to say, now, man, go out like this, I give him someone else, give him, I'd give him Nogueira. I'm trying to think of these, like, older guys, but, like, they're kind of the last of a dying breed, so... Alright guys, if you like this video, I promise next time it'll be much cleaner. This is just kind of rambling off the top of my head while I'm watching the fights. But like, subscribe, share it. I appreciate it. Have a good night.